And she averaged 14 points a game last year as a first-team All-ACC performer, along with Hailey Van Lith as a first-team All-ACC performer. Both players preseason expected to do a lot of scoring for Louisville.
Going to be a big storyline throughout the ACC early this year and around the country, really. The transfer portal and a lot of teams picking up new pieces and injecting them right into their starting lineups. Van Lith works it inside, and the miss from Liz Dixon and the turnover.
A lot of emotion in the building, right? They showed the unveiling of their Final Four banner. It's an exciting time. I've been here for a couple of days watching practice, and Louisville has a lot of different ways that they can play, especially on the defensive end with their depth.
Jones defending on the drive. It will stay at this end with Cincinnati. And a blocking foul will be called on Van Lith, trying to prevent the baseline drive.
Cincinnati, Beth, a team out of the American, picked in the bottom part of the league. Senior-led team, very athletic, likes to play up-tempo, likes to generate some offense with their defense.
Bearcats work it inside, short on the shot, Van Lith with the rebound. We know Hailey can score, we know she can pass. She told us pregame, Debbie, she wants to be better on the glass this year. Dixon with the assist from Jones for two.
You see early on Louisville trying to play inside out, and I think it's important for them to establish points in the paint so they can let their guards get free. And this is Olivia Cochran, number 44 in white, playing the 4 position, who has dropped some weight, who has improved her conditioning. Jeff Walz is expecting a big year out of her as well. She's guarding on the ball out front.
Working it inside, 2 more in the paint.
3 possessions, 3 touches inside to the 6'5" graduate student Liz Dixon for Louisville.
Jenks turns it over. Morgan Jones on the run and a foul on the drive. That'll be the first on Jillian Hayes. She's the top returner for the Bearcats this year. And 2 free throws coming up for Jones. Graduate transfer out of Jonesboro, Georgia. And in this new day and age, Debbie, we actually on ESPN, Charlie Cream has his transfer portal rankings, and she is considered to be the 7th best pickup in college basketball this year.
Well, she's long and athletic. She's an accomplished scorer in the ACC from her previous years at Florida State. You know, Emily Engsler was a player last year that came out of the portal out of Syracuse, was a number 4 draft pick in the WNBA draft this offseason, and a lot of people think Morgan is going to bring a same sort of defensive effort and energy that Emily Engsler brought to this defense for Louisville.
She was a huge pickup last year for the Cards. Braylon Milton. Big test right out of the gate here for the Bearcats, and probably their toughest opponent of the season.
Well, their best player is number 20 in red.
Milton will hit from downtown.
Braylon Milton is a player that can play multiple positions on the perimeter for Cincinnati. She was on the all-freshman team in the American.
Their final season, by the way, in the American Athletic Conference. They will be moving to the Big 12 next year. Van Lith around and out.
Michelle Clark-Hurd, the head coach who spent some time with Jeff Walz here at Louisville, she has already told us the impact of recruiting now that they've entered into the Big 12, especially opening up the state of Texas to Cincinnati.
Well, you got a lot of players down there that know they can go back home to play if they come to Cincinnati. And one opportunity here for Jones.
I think Morgan Jones is a player that you do not need to run offense for. She can create her own with her athleticism, Her ability to defend and her ability on the glass, as noted right there in her and one opportunity.
Seven points for Jones right out of the gate in her debut. It should be a lot of fun for fans around the ACC this year. Tremendous depth and a lot of strength at the top, Debbie. 5 ACC teams open up the season ranked in the top 15.
Yeah, I think this is the deepest the league has ever been, particularly at the top. I mean, there are 5 teams, in my estimation, that could actually win the ACC regular season and or tournament. I could see multiple ACC teams in the Sweet 16 this year, and somebody is going to get to the Final Four out of that group.
Foul on the shot. Let's see if they get Cochran on that. Well, last year, of course, it was Louisville going to the Final Four. NC State was 1 second away, 1 shot away from getting to the Final Four. They of course, are the 3-time defending champs in the conference.
Yeah, this is my prediction finish. Louisville first, NC State, then North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Notre Dame. And Notre Dame is in the top 10 in a lot of people's polls, but their conference schedule is the toughest in the league. They play all these top teams on the road, and they have to play Louisville twice. And the last regular season game will be Notre Dame here in Louisville. And Jeff Walz has won 8 of the last 10 against Notre Dame.
That's a big jump up for Carolina. The Carolina State rivalry should be spectacular with Duke there again in the triangle. Picked up a win today in their first outing as Louisville turns it over. And then, of course, Virginia Tech has the returning player of the year and 2 big transfers.
Yeah, listen, no one is sleeping on Virginia Tech. Certainly no one in the ACC. Kenny Brooks has by far the most talent he's ever had. And at 6'6", Elizabeth Kitley is capable of doing a lot of things on the floor offensively.
9-3 Louisville early on. Don't forget you got the Duke men and then the Carolina men still to come tonight on our triple header.
So, Beth, this lineup on the floor right now for Louisville is a smaller lineup. I would say a very good defensive lineup, although they give up a great contested 3. That's the second 3 by Braylon Milton. You know, I noted her in practice today at shoot-around. She had great basketball body language. Like, she was locked in on the scout. She was locked in defensively. And here she is advanced passing up the floor to Williams, excuse me.
Malia Williams. Get a foul on Mikasa Robinson, the 2-time All-ACC defensive team member. That's her first. Of course, a familiar foe coming into the gym tonight, and Michelle Clark-Hurd, who spent 5 years as an assistant here at Louisville, including their 2009 national runner-up team that featured Angel McCautry and Shoni Schimmel.
First class, has won everywhere she's been. She's excited about the move to the Big 12. Puts you in a power league, right? And gives her a chance to really show off what she's capable of doing. I think she's an excellent teacher and a great communicator.
And these 2 programs are meeting for the first time since 2014. They were together in Conference USA and the Big East, briefly in the AAC. Jackson spins around Jones and is whistled for the walk. Cincinnati and Louisville spent a lot of time together over the years. That last meeting was 2014, a win for Louisville. And for Cincinnati, their last win in the series back in 2010. Hanging here early as Van Lith scores on the lane.
Nice clear out, good take. Swiped through by Van Lith to the rim.
Junior from Wenatchee, Washington. And that is another turnover.
And keep in mind, Hailey Van Lith, left-handed. Watch this catch at the elbow and then swipe through finishing with the offhand. It's a good play by Jeff Walz to see if he can get his All-American candidate going.
There she is with the lefty pull-up. Jones thought about it. Van Lith knocks it down the second time. The defense didn't get out on her.
Not only did Hailey Van Lith tell us that her rebounding was going to be better this year, she also said her offensive skill set has improved from her 3-on-3 competition with USA Basketball.
Well, this is what they're hoping Jones can do all year for him. Step into passing lanes, instigate the break. Kristlyn Carr's shot is blocked.
What a play by Williams. Back-to-back plays by the hustle by Malia Williams. HVL, baby. Sticking it from the top of the key.
Not a big opening night here at Louisville. They have been in the Final Four 3 times and then added another one last spring. The 4th trip to the Final Four for Louisville. And that banner unveiling here tonight pregame on this opening night of a brand new season. Everybody around the country looking up at the unanimous #1, the South Carolina Gamecocks, the defending national champions and the favorites to win it back-to-back.
You know, Jeff Walz has been to 4 Final Fours and 4 different recruiting classes, right? So it's not like been a back-to-back. It's been a consistent level of success. I'm not calling it culture and chemistry anymore, Beth. I'm calling it mission and vision. That's where they are. They're 1 or 2 steps away from winning a national championship here. They're so close.
Hayes on the drive, blocked.
Look at the impact Morgan Jones has had all over the stat sheet early on.
Van Lith, Jones in the trail will try for 3 and knock it down.
Morgan Jones.
She may be a little higher than the #7 impact transfer, Debbie. 7-0 run right here.
You know what? And we haven't even seen Josie Williams in the game yet, who is another transfer that Jeff Walz picked up out of the portal.
Really good post player.
Very skilled. Of course, Kristlyn Carr is the point guard, #3 in white. She's out of the portal as well from Syracuse, previously at Texas Tech, where she was Big 12 Freshman of the Year for Marlene Stallings.
Yeah, spent a year at Syracuse, so they lose 3 starters and they replace them with the portal. Jones.
You know what? I love what Hailey Van Lith is thinking right there, though. And there's the ever-present Mikasa Robinson.
That's the 2nd foul on Jillian Hayes, so their star player in early foul trouble.
Yeah, Hayes is their returning leading scorer. Not able to get going yet.
Louisville has been able to turn over Cincinnati so far. They've had their way offensively in the paint. Van Lith pulls up at the elbow and rattles it in.
That's how you attack a closeout, and you let her get to that left hand. She's too good.
It's a 9-0 run right now for the Cards. Jackson swings it around, a trotter off the mark. Long rebound goes to Robinson, and they'll run with it. The kick out, Peyton Verhulst, and another 3.
An unselfish play by Robinson. Completely understands personnel. Peyton Verhulst knocks down another triple for the Cardinals.
Show the world what it means to be an ACC fan at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed ACC fan gear anywhere. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want with all the entertainment you love for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
12-0 run right now for Louisville. And a 21-7 lead here in the first.
Watch Mikasa Robinson in transition. She's going to get to the nail and kick to the trail 3. It's a great job by Verhulst to spot up, and it's a great understanding and recognition of personnel. And we're only in November.
Well, practice this year for a lot of teams started, what, end of September? And they stretch out the practices now in the preseason.
Look at the D by Louisville off the timeout.
Jackson, good backdoor cut, missed the layup.
So here's a note. Whenever a timeout is called and you're going against a pressure team like Louisville, you got to be ready to go backdoor. You got to have some ball fakes because you know they're going to ramp up their defensive effort. So you have to be ready to come with a scheme. And because Louisville's had so much success getting to the nail, Cincinnati's coming out in the zone.
Our first look, by the way, at Josie Williams, number 40 in white, the 6'5" grad student out of Utah Valley.
I think she's highly skilled. Scores with her left or her right. She's got a little half hook. Got a good body, knows how to shape up to the ball. Look at her move up the lane on the penetration.
Shot clock winding down. Van Lith for 3.
I mean, how good early on has Morgan Jones and Hailey Van Lith been for Louisville? They are really starting to separate right now.
17 points between the two of them. Chrislyn Carr with the push. Williams, pass batted away. Hey, coming up next, we'll head over to Cameron Indoor for the start of our men's doubleheader. Number 7 Duke taking on Jacksonville. And the top-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina, the nightcap against Wilmington. 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight. Then the Nothing But Net crew live from Chapel Hill for all your post-game coverage of this opening night around the college basketball world.
First time we're going to get a look at the Duke Blue Devils with John Shire as the head coach after Mike Krzyzewski's longtime successful career comes to retirement. And then North Carolina, the #1 team in the country on the men's side.
Close to that national championship a year ago. On the cross and the kick out, Trotter will try for 3 and knock it down.
Really nice job by Jackson getting to the middle of that defense.
Shot clock is now off. That ended a nearly 6-minute drought since their last basket. Ville holding for 1. Carr, pulls up deep 3.
Not sure that's it, but that's a good learning experience, and it's something that you can break down on tape.
And immediately a teaching moment there for Jeff Walsh. They've got the big lead, 24-10.
There are all kinds of products in this world. Things that make life easier or more fun.
There's the Yum Center.
Look at that. This is
Coach
Ansel Adams Americana type stuff from Debbie Antonelli, folks.
Coach Stephanie Norman showed me the way over there at Louisville. Assistant coach has been with Jeff Walsh since his beginning here at Louisville, 16 years.
65 degrees in November, and Louisville will take it. Just underway here in the second quarter of the season opener, and one opportunity for Peyton Verhulst. They have owned the paint, Debbie. Their backcourt of Van Lith and Jones combined for 17 in that first quarter.
So Peyton Verhulst is known as a three-point shooter, so you come with a long closeout, and what she does is put it on the floor, try to get into the paint, try to make a play in the lane. I think Peyton Verhulst is really important to their success, right? She's going to come off the bench. She's going to have to be able to knock down shots. She's got to keep players in front of her defensively.
So far we've already seen, we know they bring in the defender in Robinson. They bring in the big in Josie Williams at 6'5", and if Verhulst is a shooter, the microwave off that bench, they have some weapons. Bearcats are going to go perhaps the rest of this half without their star player. In foul trouble early, Jillian Hayes, and they actually had to bring her back on.
Well, I'm looking at what I would call my first quarter checklist if I'm Jeff Walls, Beth, right? As Kristen Carr attempts a three from the corner. He established the post early. He has great defensive pressure, turning them over. HVL and Jones have gotten going offensively, and he got their best player in foul trouble. That's a really good first quarter, first 10 minutes to open up the season.
Foul is going to be called on Noriko Kono, the senior from Japan. Jeff Walsh, the winningest coach here in Louisville history, signed a contract extension to 2029. And just tremendous success over the years. Those 2 trips to the national championship game. Really the only thing missing from the resume is that ring.
Well, he's definitely set the bar really high for dinner and such here in the Louisville.
He loves commiserating with the officials. Every game, Jeff is over there putting a smile on their face.
I bet in the officials' locker room where they dress pregame, there's lots of smiles of Jeff Walls on the wall. Happy faces.
Carr off the bounce. They swing it around the perimeter. Verhulst doesn't get the bounce. Good box out for Cincinnati, and Deja Trotter, who's from Louisville, a homecoming for her out of Seneca High School, where her mom, Latasha, was her coach.
We got to get Hayes going right here.
Number 20 setting the screen.
They set that middle ball screen, which Louisville switches.
On the entry pass to Clarissa Craig, Williams commits the foul, her first.
It's a good look at Jillian Hayes. Versatility to score inside out. Of course, she comes from a family of athletes. Her mom, Christy Kinney, was an MVP in the Missouri Valley in 1995. Her dad played football in the NFL. Her brother, Jackson, plays for the Indiana Pacers. I bet he's tuning in right now.
They need to get somebody else going. Milton has hit a couple of threes. The rest of the team is 1 for 12 to start out. The step back three.
Oh, Mikasa Robinson tried to tip that ball to Williams. You know, when you look at Mikasa Robinson's impact, this is what I love to talk about a player like Mikasa. If you take her points and then you take her assists, steals, and blocks, the number on the right side of the box score, assists, steals, and blocks, is greater than the number of points she scored in each of the last 3 seasons, Beth. Yet she's been to 3 Elite Eights and a Final Four. Yeah. She has an impact on the game without scoring, and she's capable of scoring. But she chooses to play this role, which definitely helps her teammates win.
Got a foul on the rebound. This will be on Craig. And that's her second. This is new for the Bearcats. The first time they are facing a ranked opponent in their season opener in 20 years. They are picked to finish in the middle of the pack of the American this year. And then it's off to the Big 12 next year.
Of course, I like the scheduling strategy by Michelle Clark-Hurd to elevate playing against a pressure team. There are some teams that pressure in the American. And of course, our buddy Jose Fernandez at South Florida has been once again picked to win the league.
That's the second foul on Kono. Off the bounce, getting to the rim, and the lay-in is good from Maya Jackson.
See, when you know you're switching that middle ball screen, your job, if you're Marissa Russell, is to make sure that you don't let them turn the corner on that. That's why you're switching.
Van Lith got it, and Hailey's into double digits.
Has she broken a sweat yet? She's got a smoothness and a calmness and an incredible maturity to her game.
Told us today her dad came in for a last-minute checkup on her game, got her ready for the opener. She's trained her whole life with her father around.
That's her dad, Corey, who I know is really proud of the work that Hailey has put in.
Yep.
This again, Mikasa Robinson getting a piece of the paint. That's just great footwork by Hailey Van Lith. The sidestep after the ball fake. And this is where she has some versatility. Jeff Walz has a package that he can put with her on the top of the floor at the point guard position.
Dixon sets the screen for Robinson. They're going to call Liz for a moving screen.
You know that's a point of emphasis this year.
It's not a rule change year, but there are still points of emphasis.
See, I don't know about that. Was there any contact? There's got to be contact for there to be an illegal screen.
Jackson, nice drive and pitch. Caitlin Wilson, offensive rebound. Scott tried to get it back out. You have the Scott twin sisters, Jada number 3 and Jaden number 10. The seniors out of Townsend, Georgia.
That's a really good traffic rebound on the weak side of the floor. That's when you either got to go up quickly, or some teams have a rule on an offensive rebound. You automatically kick it out to a three-point shooter.
Five on the shot. And the pick. Robinson with numbers, tries to take it herself. And the stick back is good from Liz Dixon.
A lot of contact on that play by Robinson under the basket. Of course, Jeff Walz doesn't miss much. You know, you can have a conversation with him at practice, and you don't think he's paying attention to what's going on the floor, and all of a sudden in the middle of a conversation, he's right back on it teaching.
Robinson quickly up floor to Jones. And Louisville turns it over. Under 5 to go here in the first half. How about little Hailey Van Lith to open up your new basketball season, Debbie?
I mean, when you work as hard and you put in the time and you put in the reps and you put the reps in at game speed, this is the result of all that off-season work, all that travel overseas with USA Basketball. There's nobody more deserving when you put in the time. And she learned a lot from last year's experience against South Carolina in the Final Four. We had a long conversation with her today at shoot-around about what she's learned. And you know she's competitive, and what I admire about her is the ability to move on to the next play.
Dixon with the lay-in, terrific pass from Marissa Russell. Yeah, remember she had scored over 20 points in the first and second round of the regionals last year, and then just like everybody, playing against that Carolina defense was a real struggle in the national semifinals for Louisville.
You know, when Liz Dixon is on the floor for Louisville, they are going inside, trying to get her established. And part of the reason why is her ability to make herself available, how hard she shapes up to the ball, and the emphasis to get her the ball. It only helps set up the guards if your post players can score on the inside. And as a guard, you want those post players to be able to score inside.
$20 points in the first half for that new backcourt of Van Lith and Morgan Jones. Here's Morgan with a step through, and she'll get a trip to the free throw line. They've been able to turn over Cincinnati here in the first half. Hey, Wednesday, we got the men's soccer championship semifinals coming your way from the ACC. Number 3 Virginia, number 2 Cuse, and then the A-seed Clemson, who beat undefeated Duke in the quarters. They'll take on the 4-seed Wake Forest, both matches right here on the ACC network and your app. The championship will be Sunday at noon Eastern on ESPNU.
What an impressive debut so far for Morgan Jones. All ACC guard transfer out of Florida State. She averaged 14 points a game last year. And I think Jeff Walls is counting on her to be able to generate a lot on the defensive end.
Yeah.
She likes to leak in transition, get out early. I don't think you have to run a lot of offense for her. I think she just has that innate instinct about how to create offense with her defense.
It's a 9-0 run right now for Louisville. And they've scored 14 points off of the 10 turnovers as Braylon Milton hits her third shot of the half.
3 triples.
Jones to the left and another trip to the line.
You know how you and your football call, which you're excellent at, by the way, but you know how a running back gets their shoulders
Running downhill, we call it, Debbie.
over their pads,
Yeah.
right? That's what Morgan Jones looks like when she sees a lane. You know, she's like bursting through that seam trying to get to the rim.
She's got to be good at the freebies because she may be spending a lot of time there this year. They've got some challenges in the non-conference, including a possible matchup with Texas on their trip down to the Bahamas. We'll have the Ohio State game at the end of the month here on ACC Network. They also, of course, have their traditional matchup with their rivals over in Lexington. That will be at Kentucky this year in December.
There's Hayes. You know, she starts her drive from so far out on the floor. Someone from Louisville should be able to rotate and attempt to take a charge. But Hayes is going to get to the free throw line here.
They're looking for her first points of the day. 0 for 5 from the floor. That's the second foul now on Liz Dixon. Averaged 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists a game last year as a starter for the Bearcats.
Jackson, her brother, who plays for the Pacers, is 7 feet tall. She's played a lot of one-on-one, learning how to get her shot off against taller players. Credits her brother for helping her with that.
Well, that's what Michelle Clark Hurd and new assistant coach Bridget Gordon have been focusing on. They love those big guards and their ability now to recruit in Texas. Of course, Bridget played for Pat Summitt, is in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, a gold medalist with a couple of championships at Tennessee. And now Hayes, unfortunately for the Bearcats, has picked up her third. Jones in and out. They've got a player at all 5 spots on the floor, does Louisville, and these are the watch list members. Lieberman is your guard, Andy Myers your guard, Miller, McLean, and Leslie, all the front court awards.
Yeah, Louisville's just one of 3 schools that has a player in all 5 positions on the watch list. Texas and Tennessee, the other 2. I think South Carolina, just a question mark about the point guard position.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have.
Got to replace Destiny. Short on the shot. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Jackson fouled by Van Lith on the drive. Decantner, Erica Harriman, and Ryan Durham are officials tonight.
Okay, so what you do is referee the defense here. And did Hailey Van Lith establish legal guarding position, and who initiated the contact on this play? That's the way you're supposed to referee it based on our calls that we've had in the videos that we've watched leading up to the season.
Two free throws here for Ariel Jackson, the freshman from Brooklyn, as we check out the foul.
All right, she comes barreling down. Now, does Hailey Van Lith establish legal guarding position? I'm not sure she ever got in front of her, but definitely the offense created the contact there. That's an interesting one.
Cochran able to keep the ball alive. Van Lith spinning into the lane. Good help defense. And one.
How? I mean, she gets stood up. You build a wall in transition. Look at the footwork. I think her options were travel or throw it up on the rim for an offensive rebound, and it goes in.
Third foul on Craig. Big first half for Hailey Van Lith. Short on the free throw.
Oh, good pass.
Bearcats had a shot at a transition bucket. Jackson steps inside the line and knocks it down.
Jackson, the daughter of the great Kim Hampton, who played in the WNBA. I'll tell you what, Braylon Milton has had a terrific first half for Cincinnati.
Foul on the shot will get Van Lith back to the line. That's on Ariel Jackson.
You gotta love the resolve, the competitiveness. How hard Hailey Van Lith attacks the game on both sides of the ball. The other thing to me, Beth, it feels like Louisville's playing with a little bit of a faster offensive cadence. I don't mean just vertically, you know, up and down the floor. I think the rhythm offensively that they're playing with, and part of this is because they're working so hard on the defensive end. I think it helps establish that sort of offensive rhythm.
Van Lith checks out, perhaps done for the first half. Here comes Milton. Jackson, step back. Doesn't get the bounce, and there's Cochran.
I mean, that's a well-designed play, a good call from the bench by Michelle Clark-Hurd. You get an open shot, you got to make it.
Cochran fouled on the drive.
You see, this is a little bit new for Olivia Cochran this year. She's not playing the full game with her back to the basket. She has really worked on her face-up skills right here, showing the ability off the bounce to get to the free throw line.
Comes up holding her hip a little bit after crashing to the floor. Just one shot attempt in this first half for Olivia.
I think it's going to take her a little time to find her way, pick her spots, figure out where in the offense. You know, but right now Louisville hasn't really had to execute side to side. They're able to get their first option.
Now in her junior season, 6'3" out of Columbus, Georgia, has really slimmed down, put in the work in the weight room and on her conditioning in the offseason. Chance for her really, a lot of the talk around town, to have a big breakout season.
Well, she was on my Naismith top 50 players to watch this year. I think she's terrific. Look at her guarding the perimeter. She's guarding guards on the perimeter. That's what happens when you lose weight and get yourself in shape.
And if that's on Clarissa Craig, that is her 4th personal foul. So Dixon to the free throw line. 6'5" grad student from Memphis, now in her 4th year here at Louisville after starting out her career at Georgia Tech.
Didn't you feel how the game has slowed down now that Louisville's been going to the free throw line?
Has played some USA basketball in the past. That 3-on-3 is becoming a bigger deal, and really a chance, Debbie, to work on a lot of different things, including your one-on-one skills offensively and defending.
Yes. It's a fast game, 3-on-3. And this is something else that Jeff Walz has that's a little bit new this year, substituting 6'5" for 6'5". He hasn't had the ability to do that in the past. That's what Josie Williams brings out of the portal. Tell you what, keep your eye on Braylon Milton. She's been fantastic here in the first half.
She's been carrying the Bearcats, 14 here in the first half as we enter the final minute. And Jones fouled on the drive.
Watch Braylon Milton right here. Carr goes underneath. She reads the defense, sees a seam. Smart take.
So the
communication on the defensive end over here for Louisville's got to be a little bit better. You know, you're asking Crystalline Carr to do something maybe she hasn't done in the past. Certainly not maybe at Syracuse in the way they guard ball screens here at Louisville. Or just the kind of ball pressure that they play with on the defensive end.
This will be the 19th free throw attempt of this first half. They were 3 for 3 in the first quarter, so we talked about how the tempo and the pace has changed with Louisville getting fouled and getting the freebies.
Well, all this talk about speeding up the game, 2 free throws might slow it down.
Yes. 13, by the way, for Jones. She, Van Lith, and Dixon all in double digits. Jackson will try for 3 over Williams. Got it.
See, that's what you do against a big girl, right? You got the switch, you recognize it, you drive them back, pull it back, stick it behind the arc.
Lobbing it over the top. Williams with the catch. 3 defenders around her and goes to the left hand for the hook.
Yeah, I think she is going to be a big lift for Louisville. A big part of their scouting report on the offensive end.
Trotter. Jones got a piece of it at the buzzer. Good first half for Hailey Van Lith and Morgan Jones and Liz Dixon, all double-digit scorers. 48-28, Louisville over Cincinnati at the half. Hailey Van Lith leading the way with those 16 points in the first half. There she is defending out top. Crossover for Jackson.
See,
and another 3 ball.
And see, Crystalline Carr overhelps. And that leaves the best 3-point shooter wide open.
Cochran, offensive rebound, no. And the Bearcats come out with it.
I would try to get Hayes going.
Off the bounce, off the window and in. Maya Jackson on the drive. Bearcats trying to make some early noise. Work their way back into it. Cochran spins to the middle, no good. Here's Hayes, still looking for that first basket.
Pretty good D right there by Dixon to move her feet.
Jackson pulls up mid-range and it goes down.
Don't you just love a New York City guard? You know, the toughness that she brings. Jackson getting the start here in the second half.
It's a 7-0 run here to start this second half for the Bearcats.
I think you got a young team, and Michelle Clark-Hurd are not young, but young and playing together. She's got a couple of young players in the backcourt right now. I'm just trying to cut the deficit in half.
Ariel Jackson. Maya Jackson. Milton off the dribble. Morgan Jones has it.
Ball screen coverage in the middle of the floor changes when Dixon is involved in a screen. She does a nice job of stretching out with that hedge. You want to try to make the ball handler go side to side or push him away from the basket. You don't want to let him turn the corner. But if there's two guards or two smalls in that middle exchange, they might switch that.
Nice cross. Jackson dumps it off inside. Ariel had the rebound, but then went to ground and was called for the travel. Playing in front of her mom, Kim Hampton, former WNBA star. There she is, behind their bench. With the New York Liberty. Back in the early days of the WNBA.
Hey, we asked Ariel about her mom playing in the W and about being buddies with Teresa Weatherspoon, the Naismith Hall of Famer, and she said, yeah, Teaspoon, that's my aunt. She texted me, so she ran over and got her phone and brought it back to show us that we believed her.
Teaspoon said, get rested and get ready.
Teaspoon's probably watching right now.
Hayes fouled on the drive. And Cincinnati right now threatening to make things a little more interesting than the home crowd had planned on tonight.
Yeah, Louisville's not scored here in the second half.
It's the second on Olivia Cochran.
But things are getting ready to change now that Mikasa Robinson's back on the floor.
Here's a look at Jillian. Led the team in scoring, rebounds, blocked shots last year.
When Michelle Clark-Hurd got the job at Cincinnati, this was her first local recruit and an important one. When we spoke to Jillian today, we asked her what she loved about Coach Hurd. She said just a genuine honesty, how transparent and how hardworking she is. I think you got to have that trust between player and coach to know that they're going to put you in the best position to succeed.
Well, she knows too, she's the first name on the scouting report for opponents as well, as Van Lith drops another one in.
See that great composure against the ball pressure?
Jackson to Jackson for three.
Yeah, look at Cincinnati now. Come on, you got to give it to them. They've cut this thing from 20 down to 11 in just 2.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Oh, I thought she got away with a walk.
They turn it over. Didn't handle the press well there. Milton. Good ball fake, repositioned, and then Cochran fouls the shooter. And this, I believe, will be 3 shots, and it's the 3rd foul on Olivia.
Well, you got to come with a long closeout because Milton's hit 4 triples in the game. So you got to understand that she's had the hot hand. You want to turn her into a dribbler, make her put it on the floor. So if you take the ball fake, Milton made her pay.
ACC Men's Soccer Championships continue with the semifinals on Wednesday. Virginia, Syracuse, Clemson, Wake Forest, building towards the championship match Sunday at noon Eastern on ESPNU.
What great confidence this is going to be as a builder in a performance by Braylon Milton. I mean, now they've cut this thing to single digits. Can they make it 3 possessions?
And she has 20 points on the night, a career high for her.
Now let's see how Louisville handles a little game pressure. Draw 2, stretch the trap.
At one point, it was a 21-point advantage. Cochran gets him another possession. Van Lith short on both jumpers. They can make this thing a 2-possession game.
Changing defense, being able to score, forcing Louisville to take it out of the net. Then they can set their full court pressure. That's how they've been able to get back in it. It's all about offense, Beth. You got to score.
Got to. Trying to wrap around, tough shot. Cochran's got the rebound. Louisville could use an easy bucket right here. Van Lith gets him just that. Got it in close, and now Van Lith with her 12th 20-point game of her career.
I think both teams look a little fatigued.
Season opener. Jackson, good body control, kept the defender away and lays it up and in.
Handle the pressure, stay poised.
Nice drop off Van Lith to Dixon. Milton off the hesitation. Dixon swats it. Numbers for Louisville.
Numbers.
Van Lith will reset, checks the shot clock, down to 5. Using the Dixon screen, gets inside, floats it up and in. She's their bailout right now.
Oh, it's working.
Jenks, got to muscle her way inside.
We haven't had a whistle in a while.
There it is. That the first one of the half?
Van Lith. Strong to the hole with the floater. Bucket. And then there's some question marks on a couple of
that
others.
had 4 factors. The challengers need to develop at least one more factor to make a run. At the unanimous number 1 in the preseason.
Yes, unanimous number 1. Not the kind of execution you want coming off the timeout.
21-point lead, got all the way down to 8 as the Bearcats chipped away. And now with 3 minutes to go, a 12-point game.
Nyla Harris getting her first minutes, Beth. The freshman, number 2 in white for Louisville.
Cardinals added 4 players on the ESPN Top 100 list, led by Harris, the 8th rated forward, according to ESPN Hoop Girls.
Long, athletic, very good off the bounce. Cincinnati showing zone.
Playing without Jillian Hayes, who's got 4 fouls. The Bearcats will get it back here. Led by Braylon Milton and Ariel Jackson. Ariel's pass picked off by Robinson. Here comes Van Lith the other way. And Hailey will finish with the left.
A steal and a layup is an automatic indicator. Full court pressure. Trying to double them up right there in that situation. See if you can get an easy one on defense.
Scott to her sister. Jackson gets into the paint. And then is able to wrestle for the held ball. It will go to Louisville.
This is just great instincts by Mikasa Robinson, right? She just stays in the lane between with potential pass and the kick out to the perimeter, and then leaves it ahead to Hailey Van Lith.
.24 now for Hailey. Final minute and a half of this third quarter. Pull up for Robinson won't go.
You know, she did average 17 points a game in high school, so she is capable of scoring. She just doesn't look to take a lot of shots. That was a good choice offensively.
Scott's pull up hard off the window. Robinson leaves it off for Verhulst. And you got a reach-in foul here, going to be called on Cincinnati. Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, the ACC Huddle Crew will be in Syracuse to get you set for a full day of football. They'll have halftime shows and pre-games throughout the course of the triple header, and all building towards the primetime matchup from the Dome, Florida State and Syracuse on ACC Network at 8 Eastern on Saturday.
I mean, come on. Using the bounce to get into the rhythm of your jump shot.
Van Lith for 26. That was one of the things she told us she was working on this offseason. Hey, trust my moves. Don't hesitate getting into and initiate my offensive moves.
I mean, this is just a great job going in, out, hesitation. Use the last bounce to get into the elevation of your jump shot. Textbook-like.
Cincinnati scoreless for the last 5 minutes. Louisville trying to close it out with a bucket. They turn it over.
Dixon was going into a ball screen, I think, right there. That's why they miscommunicated.
Jackson scoops it up and in to beat the buzzer.
What should have been a last possession for Louisville in the quarter ends up in an easy bucket on the other end for Cincinnati, who's cut it to 14.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost?
That's an 8.5. I think he could have done a better job with his post landing. A little bit more celebration.
Elevating.
Yes,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, 8.5.
All right. We'll have to get over there the next time we're in town and check that out. 26 points for Hailey Van Lith on 11 for 18 shooting, and they're going to score right out of the shoot here. Braylon Milton with 20 to lead the way for Cincinnati.
It's been man-to-man ball pressure all game by the Cardinals. They've gotten away from getting the ball to Milton. She's been their best scorer all night. They get it inside in a high-low action.
Jason Scott with the finish.
This is where Cincinnati's been able to have some success against Louisville, is when they've scored, they've been able to give a multiple look defensive effort, make Louisville hesitate, make them execute on the offensive end here.
Van Lith for 3. Williams boards.
That is a big get in the portal. 6'5", skilled on the inside, Josie Williams. She averaged 17 and 12 last year at Utah Valley. Was player of the year in that league.
24 double-doubles. That was 4th most in NCAA play last year. Here she is defending on Scott. Got a whistle off the ball.
She understands how to read angles. She gets to the glass. Look at this great rebound with 2 hands. Good footwork to step through. Finish with your offhand. She's not going to be a player that's going to dribble too much in the post. She's going to be able to score with her footwork and her positioning.
Telegraph pass there. Verhulst running with Van Lith. Blocked out of bounds. Opening night for college basketball. Here's what's going on around the ACC. The Cardinals, the preseason favorites. 5 teams ranked in the top 15 in the preseason poll. Elizabeth Kitley, last year's Player of the Year, is back in the preseason Player of the Year this season. And Miami head coach Katie Meyer was announced yesterday will be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. According to a release from the university, Miami and Meyer are working cooperatively with the NCAA on an enforcement matter, and they will be unable to provide further details at this time. She is set to return for their 4th game of the season on November 16th. Back with more in a moment. Back here in Louisville, we left you with the Katie Meyer statement regarding her 3-game suspension. For over 30 years, I have led my programs with integrity, excellence, equity, and grit. I have and will continue to collaborate transparently with the NCAA as they review an enforcement matter with the Hurricanes women's basketball program, and I look forward to returning.
I think I've known Katie for 30 years, and there's no question that her character and her integrity are not in question here. We don't know what the issues are. The university hasn't released any more information. However, no one at that university has been more loyal, donated tens of thousands of dollars, is in their Hall of Fame as their all-time winningest coach. I played against Katie in college. I have followed her career since that time. She is beyond the reproach when it comes to her integrity and her character.
We look forward to seeing Katie back on the bench.
Her team did win today.
They did. Yep. She will return November 16th against FAU.
You think there's going to be some fire and intensity when she comes back? I'm just telling you right now.
Under 8 minutes to go in this one. And a turnover. You know, we were talking about South Carolina earlier tonight, Debbie, and what it would take to compete with those guys, the defending champs, led by the National Player of the Year, Aaliyah Boston. They are playing on Friday night, South Carolina at Maryland. You can catch that one on ESPN2, and that's when they'll also announce the finalists for next year's class at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So a lot going on. Coming up in December, 4 women's hoops games on ABC. And it all builds, of course, towards the NCAA tournament. ESPN, your exclusive home. And for the first time ever, the national championship game will be on ABC as the audience continues to expand.
Exciting times. We have a change in format from 4 regionals to 2. One of those will be in Greenville, which I'm sure the Greenville South Carolina fans have bought up all the tickets
sold out,
already.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it is. But you know what? The other thing, too, is we're going to have 3 game day, college basketball game day on the women's side. I got to believe one is going to be at South Carolina. I think they could make a case for Louisville.
They're lobbying in Louisville.
I mean, I could see the NC State game on ABC. That being a potential
terrific crowd here.
Opportunity. I also like Iowa.
Iowa's another good spot.
Caitlin Clark, last year's leading scorer and led the nation in assists. Finished second on every ballot to Aaliyah Boston for National Player of the Year on all the awards.
Steal on the inbound for Cochran. Coast to coast for the lane.
And then, of course, I'd make an argument for NC State when North Carolina goes in there. How about Reynolds Coliseum for that game?
Triangle games are heating up again.
Oh, they're heating up all right.
Yeah. There's even been some verbiage going
yeah, there's
back
been
and forth.
There's been some banter in the offseason.
Crowd appreciating the effort here at the KFC Yum Center.
Back-to-back all-defensive squad for Mikasa Robinson in the ACC. I think she'll be a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year in this league for sure. Just good anticipation and, you know, does a good job of just hustle, right? All out hustle. She's definitely a right side of the box score player. She fills it up on the stat sheet on the right side.
Cochran fouled on the drive. A scare from Cincinnati early in that third quarter. They whittled a 21-point deficit down to 8. And now they have a chance for their biggest lead of the night as Jillian Hayes joins Clarissa Craig on the bench. And their top player has fouled out.
Well, by design, one of the hardest non-conference schedules in the country is Louisville. 9 teams that have played in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
And Jeff is playing 5 true road games. One of only 2 teams in the top 10 that are playing 5 true road games early in the non-conference. So it should be exciting to watch. They'll be tested. Nobody gets this crowd on their feet more than Mikasa Robinson. They absolutely love the blue-collar work ethic. Look at the footwork, 2 strong power dribbles, and once she gets her hips and shoulders past the defender, forget about it.
She's got to fill their biggest lead of the night. This could be an explosive backcourt with Van Lith and Jones and Robinson, Chrislyn Carr. Three-pointer's good. Milton having the night of her life.
Shoot till your arm falls off, Milton.
That's her 5th triple. She hasn't missed from downtown. Career high 23.
You know, I spoke to her before the game. I loved her basketball body language. And it was because she was locked in. Because she did all the little things in shoot around today that you do as a player that wants to be a leader and wants to win.
7 of 10 shooting for Milton. And Van Lith now with 28 after her last basket. Here the 2 of them are head-to-head. Floater off the window is good. 25, and she may have hurt herself when she came down and landed. Cochran spins out of the double, then tries to step through it and finds Williams. Timeout on the court. We'll take it with him. Under 5 to go.
There are all kinds of products.
Oh, what a night from Milton for Cincinnati. Career high for her, Debbie.
Sophomore, all freshman team in their league last year. Showing her skills behind the arc, off the bounce. Makes her a tough check, right? Because when you have that kind of balance in your skill set, you got to really do a good job of keeping her in front. Pulled up with a little bit of a limp, and they're working on her over there on the sideline on that right calf area, lower leg area.
It's in the region, and since she's chugging that beverage that would lead us to believe she's cramping. Deep ball is good.
That's Caitlin Wilson, their best 3-point shooter last year, who made 58. That's her first triple.
Out of bounds off of Morgan Jones' foot. She made a big splash on both ends of the floor in that first half.
Well, she's only played about 17 minutes, and one of the things that I know Jeff Walz is challenging his team is to play with durability, right? And she's being asked to play at a higher level than maybe she's been used to, Morgan Jones. So it's going to take some time for her to get acclimated to the way they do things here at Louisville.
Good drive by Ariel Jackson and a chance at a 3-point play.
Boy, I like this freshman. I really like what she can do off the bounce. And if she can continue to develop, it keeps Braylon Milton off the ball a little bit, right? And allows her to be more of a shooter. Kim Hampton, her mom's got to love it.
She's been very poised over there on the side. You know, sometimes it's more nervous for the parents and the kids in the game, right?
It's 100% more nervous watching your kid. I get it, Kim Hampton. I don't say a word when I'm watching mine. I don't yell at the officials. I don't yell.
You don't yell at the officials?
No, I don't.
Okay. Got a whistle and a foul. By the way, it's not just the freshmen that are new additions to the Cincinnati Bearcat family. They've got a new baby in the mix. Their assistant coach, Maya Johnson, congratulations. There's baby Noel.
3 weeks old. You know, Maya was a great player for Vivian Stringer at Rutgers, and she's on the staff for Michelle Clark-Heard. And we know she's watching, and we hope that baby's sleeping right now.
Probably in a Bearcat onesie.
I tell you what a good fight in the second half here by Cincinnati, though, right?
Plenty to build on, yeah.
The last 3:50 here.
Wilson will try another deep three. Russell's got the rebound. Most of the starters out now for Louisville. Van Lith, her day probably done with 28 points.
Man, Morgan Jones is a hard driver. She's not a three-point shooter, so your scouting report on her right now is you got to, I mean, she's a capable three-point shooter, but she's more dangerous getting in the paint. You got to know the scout.
8 for 11 at the free throw line.
You think Coach Walls is over there asking Dee Cantler if she wants to go down the slide in his practice facility? They're having a nice conversation over there.
Jackson swatted by Jones.
And keeps it in bounds.
Harris and a foul.
Watch Harris get out on the break. The block by Jones, and she keeps it in play. Harris turns, look at the first 3 steps up the floor, dig, dig, dig. And when you run like that, you get a chance to get an easy one or get to the line.
Team now 17 of 23 at the stripe.
You know, I can't wait to see John Shire coming up next with Duke. And that freshman class, #1 class in the country. Kyle Filipowski, he's got 4 7-footers on the roster at Duke. Filipowski's one of those freshmen. He can really, really score.
Yeah, this is just the first of our triple header. And Jackson injured on the play, lost the ball. Russell almost gave it right back. And the Bearcats need to get a substitute on. Was a non-contact injury for Maya. Under 3 minutes to go on this opening day for college basketball. Peyton Verhulst with the lay-in. I'm Beth Mowens along with Debbie Antonelli. Glad we could be with you here. Tip off the season. Geez, almost 3 decades we've been sitting over here courtside, Debbie.
Loving every minute of it.
Lots changed.
A lot has changed.
Carr tried to lob it, and pass is picked off. Jackson,
nice
the
take.
lane. Good take to the 10. Verhulst.
Oh,
blocked.
Wow.
Out of play.
Love that exchange over there.
Yes. There's a blast from the past, Debbie. Whew, look at those young pups.
Wow. Hey, double trouble right there.
Man.
Hey, 26 years together calling college women's basketball. This is my 35th year on the air. That's a long time.
It's a lot of
grateful.
A lot of post-game beers ago.
We think we got the record. We don't think anybody in college
post-game
basketball.
beers?
Oh, yeah, we got the record for that. I'm sure we do. If anybody wants to hang out with us post-game,
we're in Louisville.
We know the backdoor entrance to many establishments along the trail. Yeah, that's something, though. 26 years.
Yeah,
congratulations to you for making it that long.
And you as well. Who's had the harder time of it, me or you? That's the question America's dying to know.
We know who the high-maintenance one of us is.
You got any sleepers this year to keep an eye on around either the ACC or the country? Somebody that might surprise?
Well, I think people are sleeping on Miami. I think they are outstanding. They're in my top 25 preseason. I'll tell you who else is in my top 25 preseason. Alabama. Christy Curry's got a team down there. Keep your eye on them. They've got all 5 starters back. Brittany Jackson is a big-time scorer in the SEC.
All building towards the women's Final Four going to Dallas this year. Triple.
I think teams like Creighton showed us last year that if you can really shoot it, space the floor.
That was a terrific run for them. I think a lot of people interested to see Connecticut, of course, without not only Paige Beckers, their best player, but Ice Brady, their top-rated recruit, both going to be out for the season.
Well, you can never count them out, that's for sure. I mean, this would be, if they get there, 15 consecutive Final Fours. But the format change, we'll see if that has an impact on that.
You know who else hit the portal hard was Tennessee. Is this when Rocky Top gets back to the Summit? Some big-time transfers.
I think the thing,
We've got their game, by the way, during the regular season on the ESPN network.
To bring the game, bring it back to the ACC, Beth, this is by far, I think, the most challenging the league has ever been. There's 5 legitimate teams at the top.
Yeah.
Louisville, NC State, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Notre Dame. They all could win. Now, only 4 get the double bye in the ACC tournament. And it's not too early in November to be talking about that because, man, I think the winner in this league is going to have 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah. ACC Network, by the way, will have all the games from the tournament this year. Back in Greensboro.
Everybody shakes off the rust. Fans get used to coming back to the arena. Officials get to blow the whistle. And we get to sit over here for another year. It's pretty cool.
Good to hear the screeching sneakers and the whistle and the swish of the nets again. Final minute, pick for Chrislyn Cotter. And then Jackson commits the foul. Don't forget, got the Duke men coming up next, followed by the Carolina men here on the ACC Network.
Time in the rhythm of the dribble. And a pick.
Here's the other thing, too, to keep an eye on around the ACC. 4 new head coaches in the league this year. Can they change the fortunes of the likes of Syracuse and Virginia and Wake Forest and Florida State?
It's going to be pretty tough to crack the top half of the league this year. And Duke will be better, and Georgia Tech will be different, playing faster, a little bit more offensive-minded, I think. Don't count Nell Fortner out either. It's a great league. It's a great league. I think if you're Jeff Walls and you take a look at this, I think you're checking off a lot of things on your list that you want to see out of a first. Get them laced up and get them all in the uniforms and have them play some D and share the ball. And I think they've done that. They've executed their game plan very well against a very hard-working Cincinnati team.
They're probably going to end up shooting 50%. Ooh, foul at the buzzer. And Noriko Kono fouls out with that one.
And Jeff Walls is like, hey, we got places to go, kiddo.
The foul was 7/10 to play.
Hailey Van Lith, the big night, 28 points. Double digits for Liz Dixon and Morgan Jones tonight.
And a 1-0 start for the 7th-ranked Cardinals. We're going to get you to Duke real soon here.
That'll do it, 87-68, your final score. Louisville, a winner over Cincinnati. Hugs for Jeff Walls and Michelle Clark-Hurd.
And Louisville starts out 1-0. The Bearcats 0-1.
Still to come, Duke men, Carolina men. Let's get you to Cameron Indoor.